After priming and setting the eyes, I'm going to go in with Sauce, which is a nude blush shade. With a large, fluffy brush, blend this shade above the crease. This is our transition shade. Next, I'm taking G.O.A.T, which is a slightly lighter, matte, fleshy brown. I'm going to work this color into the crease with a very light hand. Ideally, you would use a smaller brush than this, but we work with what we got. I'm mostly starting by placing the pigment and going in with a clean brush to blend. If you only have one blending brush like me, you can clean it with one of these hair donut things and then wipe the rest onto a tissue. Next, I'm diffusing the edges with Fresh, a matte cream shade. Next, we're going to cut the crease with a small flat brush and some concealer. I have a slightly hooded eye, so you can still see most of my lid, but when I'm turning my head around, there's a little bit of overhang. A good trick for even slightly hooded eyes is to begin by applying the concealer to your natural crease. Then look up. See that transfer? That's going to map out where the cut crease is going to go. This not only serves as a guideline, but will help prevent any unwanted transferring later on. You can skip this step, but I think it'll really help to add depth and make the cat look like it's resting on top of your eyelid. And then before it has a chance to crease, I'm just going to set it with that matte cream shade. So now you can see when the eye is looking down or closed, we have this nice big halo, and then when it's open, you can just see what's on my lid. Next, I'm very lightly going back in with G.O.A.T just along the edge of the crease. This is just to add a little bit more depth to really make that color pop. And I'm not bringing it down all the way to the inner corner because I want that part to stay a little bit softer. Now we're just going to lightly blend that into our transition. Next, I'm going in with Celia, which is a shimmery turquoise shade. And I'm just placing that on top of our cut crease. You want to pick a color that is rather light so that it'll contrast nicely against the dark black cat. Now for the fun and kind of scary part. We're going to use a liquid liner, or maybe gel eyeliner, whatever you've got. And we are going to draw a little cat on our eye. First, I'm just going to map out the shape of the head. We're going to want the head to be over here, and then save room for a paw here and a paw over here. Next, I'm going to save the space for two little circle eyes. I'm putting a little line right down the middle to try to keep the eyes symmetrical, and then drawing the circles. Now I'm just going to fill it in. Next, I'm going to add his little ears. I'm just going to give his head a little bit of a better shape. Once you're happy with the shape, draw 3 little whiskers on each side of the face. Next, we'll give him some tiny paws so that it looks like he's holding on to the cut crease and hanging over it. brush and a bit of concealer. We're going to use this to make the eyes really pop. Next, we're going to take a shimmery emerald and apply that on top of the concealer. Finally, give him pupils. Clean up any fallout and apply your usual facial routine. Next, we're sweeping sauce all along your lower lash line. Be sure to connect everything to the outer corner. Next, I'm taking G.O.A.T on a flat angled brush and placing it just along the lash line. And softly blending that. Next, I'm taking Celia and really just concentrating it right along the lash line. And blending one last time. Next, I'm highlighting the inner corner with Alamar, which is a metallic gold with olive undertones. Next, I'm using Tarte EmphasEYES to brighten the inner rim along the waterline. And what would a cat eye be without a cat eye? Well, using the angle of your lower lash line as a guide, begin to map out the wing. Starting not quite at the tip so that you keep that point extra sharp, begin to connect the wing to your upper lash line. Fill in the gap. Beginning at your inner corner, draw a thin line right against the lash line. Connect the wing to your lash line, slowly thickening the line as you go. Your goal for most eye shapes should be to create a flat, straight line when the eye is looking down. Finish off the look with some mascara and you're done! Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And be sure to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever you fancy, where I post sneak peeks and updates.